Dear students, I hope everyone is doing fine and doing good. Today, I'll be taking up class 12 history, that is chapter number 1. The story of the first cities, that is Harappan archaeology. So before we go into a discussion about the chapter, I would like to give a brief meaning of what is archaeology. In simple terms, it is a study of ancient civilizations by analyzing the discovered material by the historian or the archaeologist. So let us go into detail now. So it is very important to know the discovery of the Harappan civilizations. So by the British government in the year 1856, when the railway line building constructions between the Lahore to Multan, they need a huge number of material, and they discovered the unknown type of bricks, burnt bricks, in the year 1856. That identified the discovery of the Harappan civilization. And at the same time, there are two mounds that is 14 to 18 meter high above the field. In the year 1872, even during the excavation of the civilization by the archaeologists and the historian, they discovered a huge number of packed bricks during this study of this excavation by the historian. And R.D. Banerjee, during his work on a Buddhist stupa, he discovered a huge number of bricks in the year 1920. And the same in the year 1921, R.B. Dayaram, he also discovered a huge number of material during his excavation, during his work on the study of Harappan civilization. So, Sir John Marshall, that then Director General of Archaeological Survey of India, he made an historic declaration or announcement the discovery of the Harappan civilization in the year 1924. He made a historic announcement, the civilization of the Indus Valley civilization or the Harappan civilization. After that, slowly, 1950, the civilization took place in Lahore. In the year 1960, the civilization took place at Kalibangan, that is in Rajasthan, whereas in 1990, the civilization took place at Gujarat. And slowly, the historian and the archaeologists tried their best, applied their different methods of technique to excavate, to discover about the Harappan or the Indus people. Now we shall proceed to the next topic, that is the chronology of the civilization. This chronology is on the basis of radiocarbon dating method. So it is very important to know the period wise that is divided by the historian or by the archaeologist. The first period is 3500 BC to 2600 BC. That is considered as period 1, and the period 2 is considered as 2600 BC to 1900 BC, and period 3 is considered as 1900 BC to 1300 BC. Now, among these three periods, this period 2, that is 2600 BC to 19600 BC, is considered as the major urban town or major period. Because during this period, major urban took place that interlinked with the town and cities. And not only the town and cities, but even the formation of the administration, even the development, even the agricultural technologies took place during this period. That's why the historian and the archaeologists consider this 2600 BC to 1900 BC as the major period in the Harappan civilization. The next point is extent of the Harappan civilization. It is very important to know the civilization that took place, the area, the geographical area, the historic of the geographical area is very important to know the civilization that took place 5,000 years ago. Now, we shall see some sub-points under this extent of Harappan civilization. Now, the total covered in the area, the total covers an area about 12 lakhs 50,000 square kilometer. Now among this 12 lakhs 50,000 square kilometer, during the partition of India, that is in 1947, 15 August 1947, only 40 settlements took place. Slowly, as the time goes on, the settlement increased, the settlement expand. That is 1,400 settlements that took place around during the ancient civilization. That is between India and Pakistan. And out of 1,400 settlements, 925 settlements took place in India, whereas 475 settlements that took place in Pakistan. And the very important that we should know is all those settlements took place near the banks of rivers, that is Indus, Ganges, and Saraswati. And it is also very important to know the pattern of distribution of these settlements in terms of river. As we have seen before, out of 40 settlements, it has increased to the 1,400 settlements slowly, both in India and Pakistan. And mostly those settlements took place on the bank of the river Indus, Ganges, and settlements. And it is very important to know that out of these 40 settlements located on the Indus River and its distributaries, whereas 80%, that is 1,100 settlements that is located between the Indus and the Ganges. And the third one is 250 settlement. That means 250 settlement that is located or that took place at Saraswati, and slowly it expanded, it extended till Gujarat as well as Maharashtra. So these are some of the settlements that took place right after the partition of India, that is 1947. Starting from 40 settlements, it keeps on increasing. The expand of the geographical area of the Harappan civilization. Now, out of 1,400 settlements, the two major settlements, that is Harappa and the Mohenjo-daro. And this Harappa is located at Sahiwal district at Pakistan, the modern Pakistan. And this Mohenjo-daro literally means place of the dead. Why place of the dead? Because most of the skeleton of the animals and the human beings were discovered or were found by the archaeologists and the historian. That's why Mohenjo-daro is considered as the place of the dead. Now, it is very important to know by the historians and the archaeologists. During the prehistoric period, there was no any written records. No written record was found by the archaeologists, by the historian during the excavation, during the study of the Harappan civilization. But with the help of the seals, with the help of the artifacts, with the help of the living style, archaeologists and the historians started to discover and excavate by identifying the seals that they use, the food that they ate, etc. Now we shall see, how do the archaeologists identify the artifacts? How do archaeologists and the historians get the information or gather or collect the information about 5,000 years ago? It's not from the written record, it's not from the personally or individually communicate with those ancient people, but with the help of the seals, with the help of some artifacts that were discovered, that were used by the Indus people. The first point we shall see the artifacts is grinders or the settle coins. Grinders is nothing, it is a hand-operated mill for grinding the corns. And settle corns, there are two types of settle corns. The first one is the stone to push or pull. In order to grind or in order to bonding the herbs or the spices. And the other one is the settle corn is stone curry. These are the grinders and settle corns, the ancient people, the Indus people that they were using during the Harappan civilization. And the next is the craft productions. What are the crafts, what are the handicrafts that were used by the Harappan people, by the Indus people? So some of the crafts that were discovered by the historian and the archaeologists, some examples are given here: bead making, shield cutting, metal work, jasper, and they were also found jewelries, ornaments, etc. Those are the artifacts, or those are the crafts that were discovered or excavated by the historian and the archaeologists. The next one is from where those archaeologists like bead making, cutting, metal works like copper, gold, bronze, all those from where these crafts or this material they procured or they obtained it. Now example, it is given here, lapis lazulis. They obtained this. This is a semi-precious stone that is used in the jewelry, and this material brought from Afghanistan. It is located at Afghanistan. Whereas this in carnelians, this is also ornaments that is used in the jewelry or ornaments. That material is also obtained or imported from the other place, that is from Gujarat. Now, the sculpture. This sculpture is also very much important for collecting the information by the archaeologists or the historian. Because of this sculpture, they get the information about the religious belief of the ancient people. They also get about information about their lifestyle, their living lifestyle, their social classes. Now we shall see that the sculpture is divided into three categories. The first one is sculpture in stone. We can see the example, the picture we will see in the textbook in male torso. The male torso is made it in a beautifully carved in the stone. The second one is the sculpture in metal. We will see bracket, it is given there, bronze dancing girl. We will see in your textbook chapter 1, a female girl, a slim female girl, a lanky leg, a big eye, and beautifully bunch of curly hair. We will see in the picture that were sculpture, that were art craft in the sculpture with the help of the metal. Now the next one is sculpture in terracotta. Terracotta is nothing but it is a burnt bricks. Now we will also see the example of Mother Goddess, which is also known as Mahadevi. Now these are some of the categorized into three categories under sculpture. Now these are some of the artifacts that were discovered that has to be identified by the archaeologists and the historian. And the last one is pottery. And here is a picture of this pottery, a beautifully and polished red in color, beautifully polished by the ancient people, by the Indus people. So these are some pottery like examples: a bowl, a vessel, a dish, etc. These are some of the handicrafts, or these are some of the artifacts that were discovered, that were excavated by the archaeologists